Hey everyone, this is Amanda from the Mountain House Library, and I have a program for all of you dog lovers out there. Now, a lot of us are spending a lot more time at home these days, and our furry coworkers and roommates, they're putting up with their humans a lot, whether it be going on extra walks or, just taking their spot on the couch. So for those of you that own dogs, I have a special recipe for you. We are going to make dog treats. Now, this is a very easy recipe, and all you need is right here on the table. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right into it. There's no special way to mix this or anything. You just go ahead and put it all inside of your bowl for mixing. So to get started, the first thing I'm gonna add in is a cup full of flour. Now I'm using whole wheat flour for this. You can use brown rice flour, almond flour, any type you want. Just make sure that it's okay for the animals to eat. Just like chocolate isn't good for dogs, sometimes there's some ingredients that they really shouldn't be eating. So you can always just check, if you're not 100% sure, check a veterinary site or anything like that, and then they should be able to tell you if it's good for them or not. Next up, what you're going to need is about a 1/4 cup of ground turkey. Now, if you don't have this, that's okay, but just make sure that if you do add ground turkey, that it's cooked first. Just like with us, dogs can get salmonella poisoning, so you want to make sure that it's cooked so that they're nice and healthy and safe. We're just going to go ahead and add that in there. Now, next up, I have a sweet potato. Except for this sweet potato, because you can't really just give that whole thing to the dog. I mean, you could, but that's just one treat. So what I did was I cooked it up. I just boiled it for about 20 minutes, and then I mashed it up. And you want about a cup's worth of sweet potatoes. If you want to mix it up, maybe add a little more flavor, you can add a different type of squash. Dogs really like pumpkin, so if you can get your hands on some canned pumpkin, not pumpkin pie filling, but pumpkin itself, you can always do about 1/2 cup of sweet potatoes, 1/2 cup of pumpkin, and then that makes a great, that adds a little extra flavor to that as well. Now we're also going to add in a 1/4 cup of water and about 3 tablespoons of olive oil. And then we're going to add just a couple more things. I want to add in 1 egg, and then a couple spices. Now, to give it a little bit of flavor, we're going to add about a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. This just makes it taste good for the dogs. And you're also going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric. And this is actually very good health-wise for dogs. This helps with their skin and their digestion. So that's actually a nice little added health bonus for them as well. And then from there, all you're gonna do, now that you got all your stuff in there, you're just gonna mix it up. And it's going to turn into kind of a sticky dough. And that's perfectly fine. Once these are done, they're actually going to be kind of soft treats. So it's perfectly fine if it's sticky right now. And while you're doing this, you probably want to start preheating your oven. You are going to have to bake these. You're going to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Now mine has already gotten started, so we're just going to go ahead and keep going with this for now. And you're just going to kind of go ahead and go around in there. Make sure you get all of the flour. So scrape around the sides. If you happen to see any chunks of sweet potato that maybe got missed when you were mashing, you can go ahead and mush those on the side. If not, then that's just a little added bonus that they have inside that particular treat. All right, and this looks about done. So this is kind of what your dough will look like. And so now I'm going to go ahead and grab a baking sheet. So here's my baking sheet. I'm also going to grab a spoon. All right, got my spoon right here. And what you're going to do is you're just going to put little spoonfuls onto your baking sheet. Like I said, this is gonna get sticky, so you will get a little bit on your fingers. That's perfectly fine. And you can make them a little bigger, a little smaller, it's okay. If you make them bigger, you're probably going to have between 20 and 30. If you make smaller ones, you can have up to 60 treats. So just go ahead and make them the size that you think is right for your pet. So I'm gonna make some big ones. And you may need a couple sheets for this just because it makes so many. It a little bit goes a long way. So I'm gonna make some smaller ones, I should say. And if you want to fancy them up, you can always, you know, make them into balls. You can try and put them, I don't know if you would be able to say put these in molds just because of how sticky it is. They may have a little bit of trouble coming out, but you can always just make them into little tiny balls or whatever you want to do with them. And I'm just gonna go ahead and keep going here. Alrighty, and we have our first batch. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and put these in the oven. You're gonna bake them at 350 degrees for about 30 minutes. And once they look like they're getting a little golden brown, kind of like with cookies, then you know that they're done. So I will see you in a bit. All right, and our first batch is done. Now, the cool thing about these treats is that the ingredients used are actually good for cats too. So if you don't have a dog but you have a cat, you can always use this recipe. If your cat doesn't like ground turkey, you could always substitute something in like tuna or something that's more like, that's cat friendly that they would like. Anyway, so now because I have some bigger treats, I'm gonna go ahead and take these over to the dogs so that they can enjoy some goodies. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.